Welcome back. As of lately, I am reading a lot about the economic recovery, but I also hear people speak about a so-called fake recovery. Today I'm going over multiple aspects of the economy and I will try to find out whether we are fully or only partially recovering. So let's begin with unemployment. According to the OECD, unemployment is steadily decreasing as of April 2020. Europe and Japan are still around pre-pandemic levels, but never experienced such a big hit as the US, for example. The US still has double the unemployment rate as before the pandemic, but the trend is downwards. Now, if unemployment is steadily decreasing, then why do we keep hearing news articles about companies not finding any employees with regards to labor shortages? There are even restaurants like McDonalds offering a $500 sign-on bonus. A possible explanation is the stimulating monetary policy. People who lost their jobs because of the virus receive unemployment checks by the government. You can get a $300 bonus payment on top of the state unemployment insurance, which is also a few $100s. On a monthly basis, you actually receive a pretty decent income, and this logically causes people not to go to work. Why would you work your ass off on a 9-to-5 job you don't like if you can receive around the same income when staying at home doing more enjoyable things? So what happens when unemployment checks and other government support run out? We are getting close to this point as some states are ending unemployment benefits and there is increasingly more talk about reducing asset purchases. I think we will soon find out if this recovery is real or was simply artificially created. These so-called zombie firms, which are companies that are only alive because of government bailouts, will probably collapse. People will be forced to go to work again, as the unemployment benefits won't be sufficient anymore for their daily lives. And of course, it will be interesting to see what consumer spending and the financial markets will do. It is debatable whether current fiscal and monetary policy is the solution. The famous saying goes, there is no such thing as a free lunch. Fiscal spending will be directly paid for in the form of higher taxes by you and me, but especially the wealthier people in society will pay more in taxes thanks to President Biden. This does not mean that the middle and lower class will still get this free lunch. Everyone will still pay the inflation tax caused by monetary spending.
What happens is the Federal Reserve prints the money and then the government spends it into circulation. But when that happens, the value of all the money that's already out there goes down, and now the price of everything that you want to buy goes up. And that added price is basically the inflation tax.
Another big problem the US faces the coming time is how they will pay back their enormous pile of debt without creating high inflation. I talked about this problem in my previous video and I concluded that they cannot solve this problem. Now, there is a lot more spending going on in the US, but what drives an economy is the production side. We have seen bottlenecks in supply and businesses shutting down while personal spending has been increasing. If you only consume without producing, you are simply creating inflation. This means more currency chasing fewer goods. If we look at the trade deficit of the US, there is currently a trade deficit of around $70 billion. So the US has been and still is importing most of the goods they consume. This has been and still is a bearish indicator for the American economy and actually positive for exporting countries like China. We can't deny we definitely have been recovering, especially with the help of vaccinations. It is difficult to make statements about the recovery till now because of all the government stimulus. I do think we will struggle the coming time economically, and it will take multiple years until the entire economy has fully recovered. The pandemic is not over yet, and surveys suggest people are scared to work again because of fear of getting COVID. We will see more inflation, higher taxes, and more debt and leverage in the system until interest rates rise. Important to realize is that if the recovery is fully present, it will be uneven. Some sectors like entertainment, transportation and tourism are hit harder than other industries and will take longer to recover. In addition, small businesses were hit much harder than large enterprises. As I've said earlier, we see consumer spending as a whole has bounced back, but the spending between social classes is uneven. High-income households with members who could work remotely have seen their savings spike and are already in a better position to spend. Low-income households will likely not return to 2019 spending levels for multiple years, especially US families that have lost jobs and face income uncertainty. Thanks for listening. Please let me know what you think about the current economic recovery. I will see you in the next video. Bye!